Today I'm giving you 15 movement tips for middle-aged gamers. Let's rewind and break down these kills where I use movement to win the gunfight. Because if I can do it at 42, you can too. So let's break this down together. Let's break down these movement tips kill by kill, and I'll walk you through what I am thinking. So we're gonna go ahead and let's play this first one, and then we'll rewind it back, and then I'll walk you through the movement tips just by kill, so you can kind of write these down and take notes so you can apply them to your gameplay. So let's take a look here. Okay, so we got the kill here. Let's pause it and rewind it back. I want to walk you through what I'm thinking here. There's several things at face value. You're like, oh, it's an easy kill, but there's a lot of things that go into this. So let's hit play first. So I come out the window, I immediately stop right here, and I see the helicopter. He is coming towards me. I'm in an open area here, so I don't have much to work with. So I have all this open area right here. There's no cover. So if he lands, I have to hit my shots. He's got to hit his shots, and it's a true 50-50 test, and I don't want a 50-50 test. I want the advantage here. So I immediately go right back into the building and get in the window. And I'm going to pause it again right here. Couple things. The helicopter blows up, but what I do is I come through the window, and that is going to give me the cover that I need, right? So I'm gonna have cover here, and I have cover here. He's open with no cover, so this gives me a better chance of a gunfight. Now you're probably wondering, okay, movement tip wise, now you've got to look at windows. So we have window here, window here. You don't want to jump out of a window, and you don't want to jump in a window ever when you're chasing an enemy, because you will lose that gunfight the majority of the time, because this game has a very slow animation when you're going through these kind of areas. So when you're chasing or you are running through and getting gameplay, when you're running through buildings and you're fighting somebody and somebody's coming through that window, you do not want to chase them. You want to pick a different route. For me, I got back in the window. It gave me time, and then it gives me cover, and then I can go ahead and make sure I don't jump through that window, and he is open, which in turn gets me to win this gunfight, as you can see here. So I go ahead, I split back and forth. I move to the left a little bit. I shimmy this way, because what that's going to do is give me rotational aim assist and provide me cover right here. So then I can shoulder to the left, shoulder back out, shoulder to the left, shoulder back out, because then that gives me think about what he is seeing on his end. He is seeing the character half in, half out. It's going to make him have to really dial in his shots. Based on what I'm seeing with the helicopter flying in, I don't think he's going to be a demon or a sweat, so I think I can handle this. But that is the thinking when I'm going through this particular gunfight, is I'm trying to make sure I have cover. I'm moving behind walls. I'm also making sure I'm not going through the window, creating an easy kill for him with the animation. So it's an easy kill, and I get the win here. So let's look at this next one. Okay, so let's pause that right there. And there's a couple things here that we can use for movement that we need to break down. So let's go back to the beginning. Now, I don't know if you can hear this in your headphones, but I can, because obviously I was in the gunfight. But I finished plating up, and I hear footsteps to my left, right in this hallway right here. So I know there's somebody coming up these stairs, because if you know the place underneath here, this is a walkway. There's like stuff underneath here. You got to come up, and you got to go left to come up. So the only way to come up here is this way, and I hear him in my headphones. So I immediately, he has a better heady if he stays right here, right? This little ledge protects half his body. So I know that. I don't want to take the gunfight there. I want to make sure I use movement and I use momentum to win this gunfight. So I immediately go into cover here. I wait. Look, I paused there for a second. Look at him. He is running towards me. He's coming completely at me. Look at, he's in full sprint. He's in full sprint coming at me. When you are in full sprint as a character model, it's going to be a delay for you to come up with your gun. So I know that he's in full sprint because I could hear him coming at me. So I'm going to use my movement to counteract his momentum. And see, if I hit play here, that it does counteract the momentum, which gives me a better chance at winning. I spin right by. Look where he is looking. Look where his eyes are. I use his momentum coming in this way. I sprung out this way. His character doesn't have time to react. His character's still looking this way. So I'm using movement and his momentum to win this gunfight. I'm using the game mechanics, how they're built. Now, if you're on a console, you're on a PC, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter your age either. I'm 42 when I'm doing this. It doesn't matter if you're 19. It doesn't matter if you're 75. It just matters knowing the mechanic and winning the gunfight with the momentum here. So I use his momentum. I spring out. His console or whatever he's playing on doesn't have time to react. And I go ahead and I win the gunfight using his momentum here, as you can see. So I want to show you a little bit here too. I do a little bit of a jump. So let's rewind it a little bit right there. See how I'm in the air? That jump right there is giving me a better chance at winning this gunfight as well, because I am getting hits here and here. So I am, instead of hitting down here, I'm getting a higher bullet damage on the chest and the head, because I am definitely just misdirected him on the movement because we went this way. But then I jump and look at his eyes. He's still looking this way. So I jump, I get a higher range for the chest and head damage, which in turn wins the gunfight easily using those two movement techniques of using his momentum, knowing he's in full sprint, and then jumping to get a better damage distribution on the chest and the head there. So, and then we win the gunfight right there, hands down. So let's take a look at this next gunfight. Okay, so let's rewind that and let's take a look and break it down one piece by piece here. There's several things I want you to know from a movement perspective. So obviously, I hear him coming through this hallway. I know there's an enemy out in this hallway, right? So I go ahead and hit play. I see him there. I'm gonna get a few cracks. Now, normal players who don't know how to use movement, what they'll do is they'll come out and they'll go that way and then they'll try to finish it because he's cracked. That can work. It's just you're playing, when I'm playing solo in quads, there's multiple teammates. And so if you've ever been third party, pretty sure you have been third party, you don't want to be third party. So I want to isolate the gunfight to a more closed area, which is in here, because I don't know if there's a people there. Is there people here? Is there people down the hallway behind this wall over here? I don't know. And so I want to make sure I don't push out and overexpose myself, because I have cover right here. Nobody can shoot me through that. It's not a shootable, can't shoot through that wall. So I immediately get the crack. He's not shot me at all. I go back up the stairs. Now I hear the footsteps, so I know he is going to push in here after me. So I want to make sure I have the best chance to win this gunfight. And I do that by making sure I cause enough damage. So I have my Simtex there. I'm gonna throw it right in this area because he has to come in through this door. So that's gonna cause the most damage right there. So that gives me a little bit upper hand, and then I'm going to push up the stairs. So I throw that there, that gets a little bit of a crack. Now, see how he's in sprint? Same idea as the last gunfight. He's running. He didn't come up looking at to shoot me, pre-firing me. He is in full sprint here. So he's not even thinking I'm going to be here. He thinks I'm gonna run and hide when really I'm gonna push back down. A lot of this is trying to anticipate what they think you're going to do and do the opposite of what they think you're going to do. He thinks I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna run back down and come right at him. And look where his eyes are. He hasn't even turned the corner yet. He's looking at this wall. So what that tells you is he's in full tack sprint, which again, there's gonna be a delay when you go from tack sprint to full shooting, and that's when you take advantage. And you see me take advantage of that here with the with me sliding down the stairs here. So watch, I come down, he's still facing the other way. So I'm using the momentum. He was full on, not expecting me. He's going up this way. So look, he hasn't even turned yet. He's facing the wrong way. I'm already down here hip firing, trying to shoot him and get the win because I sped past him. I did the opposite of what he was thinking, and I slid right through his legs per se, and I got the win here in the gunfight. So you just want to make sure you're using this momentum. Look at that. Finish that. and I win the gunfight. Let's check out this next kill. All right. So I know what you're thinking. Okay, that's an easy one. That's not, you know, what momentum, what movement tip do you do there? Well, let's dissect it. There's a couple things here that, yes, are basic, but you got to use them in a gunfight. So we're going to come out right here. I immediately see him getting his loadout right here. You can see the loadout, right? So I know he's getting his loadout. He's going to have full weapons. I don't have loadout yet. I'm still using ground loot. So immediately I know he's got the advantage in this gunfight based solely on weapons. He has his loadout, I don't, right? That's part one. Now I'm like, okay, but I do have the upper hand because I am behind him. Now, normally, what I think normal players would do, and I'm gonna really try to get you guys not to do this, trigger discipline. You don't need to shoot here. You would shoot here and you don't have a great chance at winning this gunfight because of the angle. So what you wanna do is wait. So let's bring it forward. So I'm waiting, I'm letting him go a little bit further. So let's see that. So now I know I'm sitting here and I have two options. I can follow and go this way, or I can come around and go this way. And I need to see which way I'm gonna go. Now I'm thinking from a movement perspective, I don't wanna chase him around this area because yes, he'll have his back to me. That's good. But I don't know, will he do what I did to the last guy and slide back and get me momentum wise? No, I wanna play the smarter gunfight. I want to use my ability to understand where he's going. He doesn't even know I'm there yet, so I have the surprise. So I'm going to wait and I'm going to hold tight because he didn't go up the stairs, which means he's going to come around here. And there's a box here. And let's just be honest, 90% of us have ADHD. And if we hear a box, we want to loot it. It's just pre-programmed if you're playing Warzone. So I know that because he's going to want to get that box looted and come back around. And I want to make this gunfight as easy as possible. So I wait for him to come around. Look at that. He's in full sprint. Doesn't even know I'm there. And it's an easy kill and, you know, win the gunfight there. Just anticipating his movement. Where is he going to go? And then being patient with my movement and where I'm going to go and not chase immediately. So let's take a look at this next one. Okay, so easy stuff here. Let me walk you through this. Man, he was a level 224 prestige 11. So people were saying I'm playing casuals. It's not casuals. All right, so let's rewind this a little bit and let's look at this a little bit further because this is a good way of getting the gunfight and winning this here. But I did want to show you how I made a mistake after this. So I know I hear him up there. My first thought is I need to see what he is doing. I know there's a loadout back there, so I'm going to push in and I slide in, which I want to really slow this down a little bit. So I come around that corner, slide, aim. You see where my aiming is in that slide? So I am sliding into the area here, but I already have my gun drawn, right? I'm already there. Like right, slide, aim, point, shoot. So instead of like it's sliding with the aim together. It's not slide, aim, point, shoot. It's slide and aiming at the same time. So you're aiming and you're sliding together, and that saves you milliseconds. So you come in already sliding and aiming in this area. So your momentum is sliding this way, but you're already aimed down sight. So you're just think of it this way. You're aimed down sight, but sliding at the same exact time, which saves you time because the millisecond to TTK in this game is fast, guys, and we get killed quickly like this guy. So we want to make sure. So, and what that does is it gives me rotational aim assist, and you can see the rotational aim assist here extremely strong. I'm not gonna lie, controller players, this game is made for controller players. I'm sorry, mouse and key, it's just not made for you. So look at that. Look at that stick. Look at this aim assist right here. Watch. I pull it back. I'm not even, my crosshairs are up here, and the aim assist I get, look at my crosshairs. It still thinks I'm shooting him, and he's over here. What that tells you is rotational aim assist is a lot stronger than traditional aim assist that's baked in the settings of the game. So if you're moving and you're aiming, you're going to get a stronger control into the player, and it's going to help you hit the player here. And that's just proof of it. It's a game mechanic. I didn't invent it. It's just the way it works. but you get a stronger aim assist. So that momentum swing, you want to use rotational aim assist if possible. You don't want to just come around the corner and then aim and then shoot. You want to use momentum. Momentum, momentum, momentum. I can't say it enough. And you see it here is he doesn't have time to react. He's panicking, getting on the zip. He gets killed. Now here is where I make my mistake. And I'm going, you know, I'm human. I have humility. I want to make sure you guys know that it's like, oh, I'm not perfect at everything, but let me play this and I'll show you where I made the mistake. And then I'm killed. So let's rewind it. So here's where I made my mistake. We gotta go all the way back to killing this guy, this little group guy over here. All right, so we kill him. Get that down. I see the guy over there, right? I see his buddy right here. You can see him move around to your right. Let me slow back this up really close here. Yeah, you can see him over here. Let me get my little nifty pen, but you can see his buddy here. Not helping. So I immediately see him. I know he's over here, right? I'm like, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna win this next gunfight. I know he's right there. I get the down. I immediately kill him. I see the ping up here on the mini map, which if you're not using your mini map, it's like legal wall hacks, guys. Like this thing gives you so much information that you're just not using all the time. So I see the little angle here. That's exactly where I saw the guy. So I know, okay, that's where his teammate's at. There's no other pings, but we did see me die, right? Now, this is what I'm talking about. We see the ping. I come back. Somebody threw a grenade. There's also specialists there. But if you see it, I didn't see this. So let's see if we can get it in frame here. Right there. I did not see this guy into my left. Right here. He is right there on screen. That's his buddy. So yes, we could blame the game for not pinging it, but what it did was it pinged it together so they were overlapping, and I didn't check the left. I immediately hard focused on this, and I'm in full attack sprint going after the guy to my right. I had no clue that this guy was waiting in the wings here to my left, and he's the one that threw the grenade, not over here. I should have looked to my left and looked this way to make sure nobody was to my left. It's like check the, you know, crossing the road when you're a kid, you got to look both ways. I didn't look left. I hard focused on the right. And so that is what got me killed in this gunfight, was I didn't check my corners. You want to make sure you 100% check your corners and use that to your advantage. I did not do that. I got killed here. I run right by him. I do get killed right there. And then we move on to the next gunfight. So let's take a look at this. All right. That's one. We're waiting. Hear the beep. We're still waiting. Perfect. Okay. So let me walk you through this one. Now this one's a little bit different. You're probably thinking, okay, what were you thinking there? So two things. One, let's go all the way back to me killing the first gentleman there as he comes in. Okay, so obviously I get my guns. I see a couple different things here, and I'm talking to you about the mini map like we talked about before, but look at this mini map right up top here. So I got a guy here, I got a guy there, so I know there's two. I got a guy here at Stronghold and another guy here, so there's four in this capacity right here. So I gotta be aware that there's two to my left and there's two down here. So when I come back at the end of this gunfight, when I come forward, I only see the one guy in the container. So we're gonna isolate him and we're gonna finish him. But look at the ping I just got. I see that ping and I know he is immediately at the tower. So he is on the tower, which he activated for a UAV to be able to tell who's in the area, which is kind of unique because that doesn't usually happen. A lot of people don't use those. I don't use those. There's probably some advantages to them. They're cheaper than a UAV, but And you can kind of tell in the area, especially in a smaller zone. But I know he's right there. I also know if I go any closer, he's gonna know where I'm at because I'm not ghosted. So I need to stay out of this zone up here, right? So what I do is I immediately back up, right? So I'm gonna back up here and get behind cover. And I'm gonna wait because he's still sitting at the UAV tower up in my radar. I know where he's at. So, and I have, and I use the perk bird's eye so I can see if you're ghosted. If I can see if you're not ghosted, if you shoot your gun or anything like that. And that's a different video. But I'm gonna hold tight here because he's going to push up to, I know he's gonna come look for me because he can't see me anymore. And so I'm waiting. This is just patiently waiting, biding your time because you know he's gonna push up. And he does eventually push up because I don't see him anymore. And there he is. And look at him. He's looking, right. Look at his eyes right here. I know I can't zoom in, but look at his eyes. He's looking for me over here. He came up and he immediately looked left because that's the last place he saw me. And so I'm using the cover to stay in cover and being patient and waiting because I want him to be able to push up because I know he needs to buy his teammate back because I just killed his teammate, and he used the UAV and he feels safe because he didn't see me up here or anybody else anymore. So it's like using that information to get a better chance in this gunfight. And so what he does is he looks left. That's great. We talked about that earlier. And then he looks right. And once he looks right, I pop out. Look at him turn his head. He's completely looking at Stronghold now. It's looking this way. So he's checking his surroundings. I was just patient behind cover, waiting for him to push up. And those few extra seconds, yes, they can see boring and you want to push, but you got to know, you got to know when to fold them and you got to know when to hold them or something like that. Is the Kenny Rogers song, but same kind of thing here. You just got to play patience a little bit more because if you have patience more than they do, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win. 60% of the time, it's going to work every time. So let's go on to the next one. But you see me using momentum, me using the patience right here to understand of him going to free up, understanding the UAV and him being safe and feeling safe because he didn't see anybody on the UAV and knowing he needs to buy his teammate back. So which all of that leads me to winning the gunfight. So let's take a look at this next gunfight right here on top. Perfect. So let's talk about this. Let's rewind. There's a lot of information here. This game is a lot of information that you have to process. So there's a couple things here I want you to see. I'm on the roof of prison. We know that area pretty well. And we already see Mr. Butthead's head right here, which is a giant head character in the game. So we already see that. We see him running around and I could shoot right here, but I have trigger discipline. I'm going to wait. And I want to use this area right here as cover, right? I want to cover my body. I want to use my body to just peek my head over this area. So then when they shoot back, they're not going to hit me. And they got to be a crack shot to be hitting me in the head for all their shots or cheating. And so I want to use this as cover. I know that. That's why I'm staying behind that and being a little bit safer here. So we're going to go up. We know he's there. Now, I immediately see his buddy coming to the right. So I'm going to let him jump up here because I know this jump animation takes a little bit longer. You got to think about it. You got to mantle up. This guy's running free flowing. So I want to make sure I'm giving my shots and I'm over here in cover to the player that's easiest to kill first. So I'm using here this motion right here to keep everything underneath back here. All they see is my neck, head, and the gun. And so what I do here is I make sure that they only can see me that way. And so as soon as he comes out, see that mantling up right there? He's in the middle of mantling. That's how long that takes. I'm going to down him. His buddy still just got up there and I'm going to immediately go up. Now I'm going to go, look at that, chest, head, and then knock. So both of them are done. Both of them are down and knocked within what, 4 seconds, 5 seconds there. And the reason why is, one, I could have shot immediately, but I wanted to play in cover. I wanted to make sure I was using that. and make sure it's easier to get a downs that way. 2, I had trigger discipline, so when he was jumping up here, when he was going this way, I let him do that because, again, I talked about it earlier in the video, animations kill you in this game because there's so many of them, so you just got to know when to use them and how to play against them. He was up there. I had his buddy over here down before he even had a chance to get up there and turn around. He was turning around to look at me by the time his buddy was down. So that gets that done right there and gets me to win the gunfight against those two using those tactics. So now we got a bunch of smoke, but we're going to go ahead and get the double kill here, and we're going to close it out. So we're going to go ahead and get the double kill here on Brown Iverson, level 49 prestige 4 here. But the big thing here, guys, and I want to make sure we understand, is just using the cover we have around us, making sure we're using our momentum and just using those tips to win those gunfights. Yes, I know these 19, 20, 21-year-olds, 25-year-olds are running around hitting that YY spam, but we want to make sure we're playing our game, being smarter, using movement, analyzing gunplay, and that's what I'm here to do and make sure I help you guys. But hey guys, if you like videos like this and you want more from me, go ahead, check out this next video right here. This one has gone a long way, and it's 27 tips for middle-aged gamers. And then go ahead and check out this most recent one here. You got 2 choices from me. Watch both of them, give me some love, and if you have time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn notifications on because I'm always coming out with new educational content for you guys. Us middle-aged gamers gotta stick together. I'm 42. If I can do it, so can you, and I will catch you guys in the next video.